Hey guys, this is going to be a relatively shorter video, just a quick update. Past few days has been crazy, being constantly bombarded because unless you've been living under a rock, if not, you should know by now that there are six upcoming new launches they are going to preview starting from 31st October, which is Trump Park, and all the way to 2nd of November, which you have Lava Grove and also Novo Place. All these are going to be launched almost concurrently. Of course, one of them is going to be launched earlier, the actual booking day. Then the rest are going to be almost pretty much on the same day, which is going to cause quite a bit of drama and hype and a lot of confusion also, and definitely going to be a lot of emotions involved, but it's going to be quite a bit of mayhem because we haven't seen so many new launches being launched all together. There is quite an obvious reason why this is actually happening, but of course this shouldn't actually be said online over here, but I think it's pretty much obvious for those of you who've been really observing the market. So yep, from my side has been rather busy being bombarded by quite some inquiries about all these projects here and there. So which I understand because due to people having the fear of making the wrong mistakes, right? Anyway, my message to you will be if you're going for all these launches, please remember to be very cautious, be very careful. It's easy to be sucked into all this hype. Then it's like everyone obviously is saying that there's going to be a lot of supply altogether. There are a lot of launches altogether. Developers are pretty much forced to launch at a more competitive pricing. A lot of them are dangling lower than expected. Not a lot of them are dangling lower than expected indicative pricing. But on the day itself, what are the actual prices given the specific units? No one knows for sure. I'm pretty sure they themselves don't know yet because they have to look at how much the response is, how crazy the response is, how many checks are already collected. Then they will decide from there. But most important thing is if you see a bad deal, are you able to walk away? I think that's an important thing. The funny thing is that I just met a couple literally today telling me that they were very thankful that at the most recent new launch, I don't want to comment which one, that their Queen of are pretty much not so good, and then they were actually happy that it wasn't that good because they themselves were rather uncertain that they want to go ahead, but they don't want to disappoint the agent by walking out, and that's an unfortunate thing because yeah, I think the nice thing is that they are nice lah in a way lah. I mean, I hope my clients are also that nice, that understanding, but I think you shouldn't be paiseh to walk out of a bad deal because you're talking about $1 million purchase. It's not gonna be easy. Which thankfully for them, because of the recent indicative pricing and because of all these price competition all coming together, there are pretty decent indicative pricing here and there at certain projects. So if you do compare whatever has been released so far compared to the most recent one that was launched, I think some of them are a much better deal, and that is why I think sometimes is a little bit not so wise to be chonging for something that is not so steady lah. Let's just keep it short on that. Anyway, I think part of the reason why the developers are rushing, partly also because of the holidays are coming. That's why there is going to be a price war because they don't want to be launching during holidays when a lot of people are not in Singapore, which is not actually very beneficial to them. So anyway, the message is clear. Not everything is as good. You need to be able to differentiate which one is a better deal, which one is still quite a good decent deal, which one are obviously a bad deal. A lot of things are still very unknown yet, even though the indicative pricing are there, and there's going to be a lot of launch day hype, launch day pressure. Be ready to handle and then cope with it. And of course, don't be pressured to put in the check just because you are there at the show flat. Think very carefully because especially once you commit the check already, there's of course you can easily walk out, but the chances of you committing to something is definitely going to be higher, and that's why you need to be very clear what you're doing. If you are not exactly sure why you're even looking at the certain project, I would say just walk away, because I don't think you are really aware of what you are trying to get yourself into. But of course, if you are very clear on that, please go ahead and go and buy, because if you are able to get a good ballot number, then why not take advantage of it, this situation. And just a side note, there may be some shady, dodgy agents hanging around at the show flats claiming that if you buy through them, there are going to be discounts. There is no such thing, because developers, they have to standardize the prices, and especially given the hype expected on launch day, there is no reason why they should be giving a discounts. In fact, if you see such cases, don't need to hesitate, you can just report to CEA, because these kind of things are false information. It is not happening. Make sure if you want to buy such a heavy high ticket item, try to stick with somebody that you can trust, that you can follow throughout the whole journey of buying and selling at the right time, at the right price. I think that's the most important. You don't want to be trapped into somebody that's going to be hit and run, and then if the next thing you know, you try to find them, they either they change the number or they don't pick up your calls. I think that is going to be one hell of a nightmare.
I thought she'd always be here.
So today.
Before we end, I know there are a lot of projects, but I don't think I'm able to cover that much, because it's gonna be quite a hectic next 2 weeks. If you need help, then feel free to DM. I see how I can help out. Make sure out of the 6, you know which to avoid, which one to go for, and what kind of pricing. Everything must be very, very clear, especially you only have that few chances at property in Singapore. That will be all we have for today. If you need any help, like what I mentioned, feel free to text. If not, if you find this is a little bit helpful, then help to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and then I'll see you again soon. Take care, guys, and good luck for your ballot.